Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody, and welcome to Monday Night Vibes with Tanya and Amani. So I know that we've taken a year hiatus. Was it a year hiatus, Amani, that we
It
took?
was a year. Yeah.
Oh my gosh. And now we are back. We are back because there are so many things going on in Formula One. There's some
hmm
regulation changes, there's some great racing. Okay, I'm biased because I'm Ferrari and Lewis Hamilton,
Yes.
but there's so much to talk about. And we have been silent for a year. All of this stuff has been going on. So, Amani, what's been up with you? How have you been?
I've been great. You know what I'm saying? Just you know, I know it's been a year, but I'm glad it was that year. You know what I'm saying? Because we could just kind of erase all that. We don't, you know what I'm saying? We don't see, you know what I'm saying, the rearview mirror. We're looking ahead. You know what I'm saying? Now, you know, it's not as
I think
bad
we
as
are
last year,
too.
but you know, I'm
I
glad to
mean,
be
come
back.
on. The
Whew.
first race was so promising, especially for Lewis Hamilton fans. I mean,
Yes.
last year was trash for us. It was very, very hard to
Ooh,
watch, to say the least,
jeez.
right? How come you don't
Ooh.
have your Ferrari on today? What are you wearing? What are you rocking?
Look, I'm walking the Paris Jordan today.
Oh,
You know what I'm
okay.
saying? So I gotta get my Ferrari. Well, listen, here's the deal. I thought I was gonna have my Cadillac stuff in here today, and I didn't.
Mhm. Yes,
So
the
I'm
entrance of
waiting on.
Cadillac into Formula One and Audi too.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Well, yeah. Well, if the interest of Cadillac, yes, yes.
But
So,
Jordan's relative in the motorsport world, we can say, right? Because Jordan
right.
has been performing very well in NASCAR. He's had how many
Yes.
race wins? Three
So he
in a
won three in
row?
a row. Yeah, he did win
Okay.
Phoenix, but it was kind of he wasn't gonna win Phoenix anyway. But yeah, so
Oh,
but
that's
he
cool.
did win the first three. So I mean the Daytona 500, yes. Atlanta, yes. So yeah, he's on a roll. You know what I'm saying? So which he didn't do bad. They didn't do bad at Phoenix. Um, I'm very curious what they do in Las Vegas, but I think Darlington's gonna be the real test for them in about 2 weeks. So
Okay.
shout out to the
I
goat.
haven't. I've just been in the rumor mill on Instagram and seen all the wins and him actually being there as a owner slash stakeholder celebrating with the team. And
Mm-hmm.
what I've heard that it's come with pretty good reception from the team with him being there cheering them on. And I think that's pretty big of him. I mean, he is the biggest name in sports, I think.
Yes.
Especially from a marketing standpoint. I think that
Yeah.
Michael Jordan and his brand have been the benchmark for so many brands that have come after him. But he's still one of the most recognized brands in the world. So, I mean, for him to
Yes.
have a successful NASCAR team, and we know that he did have to there were a lot of ups and downs that 2311 went through in order to start getting these W's. So hats off to
Mm-hmm.
them.
Which was crazy. That's another discussion for another day. But for that to go that long in NASCAR, and all the owners are just like, yeah, I guess whatever, was like, really? So I'm glad
Yeah.
he came in and put his stamp on there like that.
Yeah, he was a great equalizer in NASCAR, even if
Mm-hmm.
a few lawsuits were thrown towards NASCAR in Michael Jordan's name. So good for him. Good for him. He's making a mark in the sport. But
Yes.
we have so much to talk about regarding Formula One. I don't even know where to start.
I can
So
take this.
the year that we were gone was the announcement of Cadillac entering Formula One, which
Mm-hmm.
I find exciting because I've seen them in so many other racing series. So I am very curious to see what they will do in the first year of Formula One. And I hope they have realistic expectations because, like, to go in and say, I'm going to win races. Oh, I don't know.
Well, they finished.
Yes,
That
that
makes
is a milestone. They finished.
that makes them better than
Aston
that.
Martin wasn't as lucky, were they? But well, we'll get into that too, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Also, Audi entering Formula One, Ford coming back as the engine supplier. Somebody was like, "Yeah,
Ooh.
Ford's entering Formula One." No, they've been in Formula One. They left. They came in and then they
Mm-hmm.
left, and now they're back. So I'm just curious to see what reliability that they're going to have this year, considering that it's Ford.
Well, Max's car was pretty good. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, but Hajar's car wasn't.
Put that on the back burner. Jeez Louise. Shout out to Hajar on that.
Yeah,
So,
shout out to the everyone in Formula One. I guess the first thing that I really want to start with is what's going on in the world. As we all know, Formula One is a global sport. They travel all over the world, and they have heavy ties to Saudi Arabia. And given what's been going on there has been a lot of talk of shuffle of the Formula One calendar because the area of the world is not safe right now. So, Amani, I want to get your thoughts on it.
look, I look at it like this, right? Um, those races, from what I understand, towards the end of the year, right? And F1 right now, which listen, F1, we can all say they're not. You think this is going to affect F1 and the president? And you think he's looking at this as a hindrance? No, he's looking at this like, well, I guess we can, maybe race in the daytime. You know what I'm saying? Or maybe they can, maybe we race a little later at night. This is not going to affect F1 at all. At all. Now, will this end by? We don't know. It might, whatever. But right now, as long as the track is still got rubber on it and still got a track, everything's good. They're gonna be racing in there because they. What was the 2 years? I think it was two years ago when they had that
Yes.
whole incident over there, and
Yeah.
everybody wanted to go. Was like, no, we gotta go. F1's like, huh, please get back on that track.
Well,
Shut up and
as we
drive.
do know, they were there doing testing when it started, and there were a lot of people that were on the testing crew of some of the teams, and also Pirelli got stuck there. So I'm just saying, if it's not safe, I don't think that Formula One's going to be going there. And time will tell. We don't know. We don't know how long this whole thing is going to end. I mean, last. We don't know when it's going to end. I just hope that everyone can stay safe as much as they can because that was very, very scary.
Yo, shout out to Keisha, I think. Oh, she's in Dubai right now. So
Oh, she is. Is she
yeah,
safe?
she's.
Okay. Okay.
I
Well,
mean, she's still
as
there.
long as she's safe, that's all
So
that matters.
yeah, so shout out to her. I almost
All
well,
right.
she don't
So
listen
we're
to
gonna
podcasts anyway, so we're good. I think that's
okay,
her
we'll
name.
still wish her well. Okay. There are
Yeah,
a
yeah,
lot
yeah,
of
yeah.
people that
Come on, come
don't
back,
listen
yeah,
to
come
this
back over here.
podcast that still need
Yeah,
to
come
be
back over
safe
here.
out there in the Middle East.
Yeah, come
And
on.
as well as all of our soldiers and troops and military personnel that are going to be shipped there and are already there.
Oh
Um,
gosh, yeah.
as well. So, appreciate everybody that every person in the armed services. And yeah, appreciate your service as well. So yeah, I do want to definitely leave with that. But moving on, we went to Australia this past weekend and I forgot that
Mm-hmm.
the race came on late at night and then it was daylight savings time. So today I am hurting for certain, but there is so much to talk about. So where do you want to start, Amani?
So I think the main focus is right now is that when I had text you, even before the race has started, Oscar Piastri, my brother,
Yeah, I didn't even know that. So
my
tell us
brother.
what happened. What happened with that fiasco?
So apparently, when I guess before they even started the race, before they even started the race, I don't know if he had some kind of hiccup or what really happened with that, but he ended up crashing to the point that the car was unfixable. The
Wow.
car was the car was definitely like unfixable, and it was like, uh, sir, this wasn't even formation lap.
I know. So that's where I got
What
confused
even
when you
formation
text
lap?
me because I thought I was late. I thought I was late, like turning on the race. I'm like, what are you talking about? Piastri crashed.
I
And
was
then I'm
like,
like, wait a minute, the race hasn't even started yet. But no, the
no,
outlaps that they do
yes,
before they do the formation lap, he crashed his car. Yeah,
because
that's
remember
crazy.
Hajar crashed on the formation lap.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. So yeah, they crashed on the formation lap, but that was before, and I was like, oh, so like I said, this is only race one, people. Let's just kind of you know. But other than that,
Okay.
where do we start? what we talking here? Because let me tell you something right now. I want to say this.
What?
Probably one of the top 5 races I've seen as pure
Uh,
excitement.
like ever?
It was exciting. It
I
was.
top five. I don't know
It
if it's
was
a top
exciting.
five, but I will say, um, because of the year that Ferrari and Lewis fans have had prior, this year is way more promising. I think that's
Mm-hmm.
fair to
Mm-hmm.
say.
No
I think that's fair to say.
domination. Well, except Mercedes, but that's a whole nother story.
Well, I mean, with the new regulation changes, I really feel like it's any team's game, and I'm
No,
like,
no.
where's Lando? Like,
That's what I'm
like where's
saying.
Waldo? Where's Lando?
That's what I'm
It's like, did
saying.
he become world champion and he's content with just that one world championship and he's okay just to finish wherever he wants to finish, or does he really want to compete and try to rack up these world championships? Because I didn't get that in the first race.
No, he's not going to do this. He does. Listen, we all know that he. Listen, we
Okay.
all
Oh,
know that they gave him that championship. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause
okay.
they didn't want
Here we
Piastri
go.
to get it because they knew that they wasn't going to be ready for the new regulations. So they was like, well, you might as well just going to give it to Norris right now because he's the face of McLaren. To the point
Mhm.
now they're making golf clubs now because they don't. Why would they? You know what I'm saying? They already got the championship. Why go after another one? You know what I'm saying? It's a team effort. You know what I'm
Move on
saying?
to live golf. Yeah.
Yeah.
Go.
Course. But
Oh
the
my
excitement, but
gosh.
definitely, but even on the start. Now, here's the deal.
Yeah. Let's talk about that. Let's get back to the start. So tell me what
Now,
you thought about the start.
now the start was amazing. Number one, I did not expect Leclerc to grow a pair and actually. Well, I wasn't. Two things. I wasn't ready to see. I wasn't. So I was. They're very surprised to see Leclerc grow a pair, do the driving that he did, and Lewis almost got it too. But I think George kind of shut him off of that because George is like, I'm one's gonna pass me. You know how George is. Lewis ain't gonna pass me, right? Because he's still competing with Lewis right now. And
Hmm.
so when that happened, I said, wow, because the whole summer when you hear these rumors of how Mercedes they figure out the battery situation and how they can they can use none of the battery or something like that on clean air
Hmm.
and they can basically lap for yeah. I mean, it's crazy. Like George Russell gonna win the whole thing. So to see Leclerc,
Is that what, hold on, is that what Mercedes was predicting because they figured out the whole
that's what
battery
everybody said. That's what
situation?
everybody said. That's what everybody was saying. Everybody was saying, and but we saw it in qualifying. Don't get like we saw this in qualifying. The last
They
Q3,
had a leg up
it
while
was
all the other
crazy. I was
other
like,
drivers were
oh,
struggling with the whole battery issue. It's not an issue, but it's how to manage better manage the battery to be able
oh
to
my
have
gosh.
power and when to push and when not to. Yeah, no, we heard that the whole time.
So to see him pass, him and George was battling the whole time until whatever. But there was, I mean, the whole time they're out here battling, and I'm going, oh, Ferrari is okay. I can see. Okay, I can see this now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Now,
Yes.
now we've been saying if you check first season and all the times we've been talking F1, the only problem with Ferrari is that it's their strategy, and then Ferrari being Ferrari. Now it's getting a lot better, but it still ain't there. But seeing them go at it and them to mess up the strategy because there was a lot of cars out there that did not make it to the 10th lap.
That is true. That is true. Final race results were um George Russell and then
Yeah,
Kimi
George,
Antonelli.
George Kenny, yeah,
Yep, Kimmy,
Leclerc,
Leclerc, and
Lewis,
Lewis Hamilton. And then who was fifth?
Norris,
No, I don't
Norris,
know.
and then Max, right?
Max. Yeah, Max was
Max was
sixth.
six.
Yeah, Max was sixth.
One
And then
Norris fifth.
I don't know. I think I have it here in my notes, but I'd have to look and see.
Let me look. Hold on, let me look this. I can look this up right now.
For no, look, I only have to four because that's all I care about.
You ain't lying when you tell the truth.
Okay. I mean, like I can't help it.
So
Y'all always
yeah,
keep it a
it's
buck.
Norris, Max, and
Okay.
Ollie's in there. Yeah,
I'm like after Lewis, who cares?
exactly. But here's the thing. Like I said, so a lot of stuff had happened, right? Oscar crashed his car, so we don't really know. Really, I mean, Norris is. We're not worried about Norris this year. I think Oscar's going to be on a rampage this year. I don't care what he care about the car. I think he's going to ride this car until it falls to the ground
Because he has
because
something to prove.
he got something to prove, 100.
Okay.
Percent And so, and Max messed up in qualifying, so he ended up at 20, but moving up to 6. Now, does he have enough to get to 6 to 1? I don't think so. So I think that's another thing.
Mm.
Yeah.
I'm
So that's another
curious
thing
to
right there.
see. You know who I want to see race head to head? I want to see him and George. I want to see what happens.
I don't
Because
think any.
because George, so when George and Chuck, they were racing wheel to wheel, right? And then Lewis was
Right.
kind of in the mix. You can tell that George still hesitates a lot under pressure. You can still see
Yes.
it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was hoping as a Ferrari fan, I was like, make a mistake, George, make a mistake. He kept it together enough to battle Chuck and pass him. But man, Lewis was right there. Lewis was right there waiting for him to make a
Right
mistake.
there.
So I really think that even though I mean, not Ferrari, but Mercedes does have an extremely competitive car, sometimes it comes down to the person in the box.
Yes.
And
So,
we are going to have to see how well George continues to perform under pressure.
well, I think when you're in a car like that, right? Quotes is that the pressure. You're not really gonna see pressure when you're up
Well,
front like that.
so we hope that, so he hopes that he turns into Red Bull and they just keep selling into the sunset every race, that they don't have to battle for anything. I mean, isn't that the reason of the whole, all of the regulation changes is because they want closer, more competitive racing?
I don't think it's gonna be. But here's a yes. Well, yes, you're right, 100%. But when a team or two figures out how to, when they figure out the regulations to a T, then it becomes a dominant situation. So, but other than that, it's like okay, but people saying that Ferrari messed up on with the strategy of pitting.
They did. It's
Well, they
not
did,
people said, they did. I mean, you
but
heard Lewis. Lewis even said they did.
yeah, he was on. He knew it too. He was on the mic. Was like, we should have pitted.
But I do like how vocal he is now. Like at first, the last year was kind of like, what are we doing?
Well, his
I
engineer,
really
his
think that
his
it should be
race.
like this. I really so he was just being very nice about it. This time he is like on them.
Well, he got a better race engineer now. It's not people just it's not
You think
somebody
all that
just.
just came from just changing one race engineer? I think that he had went back to them and they had a serious conversation of how
I
this team needs to be more successful because
yes,
Chuck was pissed too about last year. Let's
yeah,
not forget
but
that.
and there was changes. That's what I'm saying. So there was changes as long as you which but it's going to take time for them to understand who Lewis Hamilton is, right? I mean, it shouldn't, but it's going to take time. But for them to get rid of people and bring people in here to make him see progress in Ferrari, and
Hmm.
then he can be vocal and stuff. Because but I really think last year he was more of just kind of um just observing
Settling
stuff,
in,
just
settling
observing.
into the
Yeah.
team. I think that he was settling into the team. But this year,
Mm-hmm.
seriously, do you think that he's chasing a championship or do you think that he's just enjoying another chapter of Ferrari? I don't
No,
think that
he's
he's just
chasing.
enjoying another chapter of Ferrari. I think that this man really wants to win. And the simple
He's always
fact,
chasing.
he he was actually leading the race at some point, which made me
Yes.
ecstatic. I was elated, okay? I was like, "What? Lewis is leading the race?" I mean, it wasn't for
Mm-hmm.
a long time, but look, us Hamilton fans, we will take any. anything that is
And
positive
yeah, they need to get that
when he's on
corrected.
the track. So
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
yeah.
also need to get that corrected too, Ferrari. So, but like
So
I said,
what? So
hmm?
I want to I want to go back to the drivers now having to manage the battery. What do you think that that's going to look like? Do you think it's going to take them like halfway through the season to be able to master that?
Yeah, I think everybody will catch Mercedes about July
Hmm.
after 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 Monaco. I guess we can start seeing more. I ain't gonna say what the upgrades, but you know, that it's the same thing even with Ferrari. What I understand with Leclerc is that he'll pass George, he'll go boom, but then be times he'll slow up and go, what's going on? And George will pass him. But that's Ferrari losing battery power. He charges it back up, then he's on the hunt
Hmm.
again. So I mean,
Hmm.
people just because, like I said, you can practice in these cars all day, but if you have real race action, that's when you gotta understand what's going on. People still kind of still figuring out these cars, but I'm thinking like June, July, um, but everybody except Aston Martin. I don't think Aston Martin finishes the race this year.
I knew it was a matter of time before you were going to start talking about Aston Martin. I mean, I don't know. I think it's going to depend because I feel like every time they're able to grasp how to manage the battery, I think that with upgrades and things like that, they're going to have to keep recalibrating and making adjustments.
I mean,
Because
that's true,
like when they change one thing on that car, it affects everything else. So I
right?
really feel like they're going to be stumbling through it possibly all year.
Well, uh, I do believe that too. Now, I'm not saying everybody's going to get it, but
Hmm.
right now, Mercedes, Ferrari gets it. I don't think McLaren is getting it yet. Maybe Max is getting it. I don't know. We gotta see how Max does. Maybe next race in China, but Mercedes, Ferrari gets it. And I don't know them. I don't know. Um, I don't know really know the team that's really else because I feel like it's just them, and then
Yeah,
like
up top. Yeah.
5 and 6 is just way back there. Like it's way back there. Like I don't think Norris is. I mean, even with the time, it's just I don't see. I see George Kimmy,
Hmm.
Leclerc, and Hamilton, but then
Hmm.
everybody else is kind of like way back there. I said, it's still first race, so that's how I got from there. I mean, you know, if Max gets his stuff, maybe he can finish, and do you think he can make a podium this year? I don't know because the way that Ford engine blew up on Hajar, I mean, jeez Louise,
Look, I don't want to be that person, but all I'm saying is it still remains to be seen what it's going to look like. And I
that's
know
true.
that Ford is trying to put his best foot forward, but
It's still
pun
found on road
intended.
dead.
Look. First foot forward.
Found
Pun
on road dead.
intended.
Yeah.
Um that's crazy because I'm not even, well, I said fix or repair daily.
Well, it's tomatoes,
I mean, they're so
tomatoes.
like, yeah, that's just, that's just what it is. Um, but my thing is Cadillac and also Aston Martin. I mean, Aston Martin, I think that that was a big disappointment for everybody coming into the first race, how their car was not ready to battle for any sort of position. I mean, both cars and drivers had to retire early. They were saying that the way that the car is driving, that it can cause serious damage to the
Mm-hmm.
drivers, which that's something that ever since the porpoising issue that happened years back, that no one ever really wants to see.
It's
That
worse.
drivers are getting permanently injured from doing what they love. So Adrian Newey being at Aston Martin, like I don't think anybody was expecting this, not even Adrian, but it's happening.
I
So
think it's more of a Honda problem than anything.
Yeah, but they all have to work together to solve the problem. I mean, there's no use of
Mm-hmm.
pointing fingers if you still have a car that everyone's responsible for not finishing the race and drivers sustaining injuries. I mean, I think that's the last thing that Daddy Stroll wants is for Lance to be, end
Shaking.
up with with Parkinson's or something like that because
He took us a shake.
which let's say you don't get Parkinson's from that, but ending up with some sort of nerve
Crazy.
injuries
Yeah,
or
the
head or
nerve
neck
damage.
injuries because that he doesn't want his son injured, and I know he doesn't want anything to happen to Alonso.
But even what
So
we heard from the testing, though, this is nothing that
yeah,
was like
of course.
everybody expected him not to finish the race.
No, but I think that it was more like how come they can't solve the problem
That's why
because
we
no one
said
else
kept
was
saying that they're gonna
saying.
finish the race.
Yeah, but nobody else really had that big of an issue except them. It's like, well, geez, well, what were you doing with your car that it's causing this major issue that can hurt your drivers, and no one else is really complaining of the problem? Because remember, with the porpoising, it just wasn't one team. There were so many other teams, and we still have the footage from Toto Wolf going
Mm-hmm.
off on Christian Horner talking about
Oh
Checo
yeah.
said the car is fucked. And Christian Horner's like, no, it's not. It's
No,
you
it's
and your
not.
team. But there
Jeez.
were multiple teams during that year that had issues with porpoising. It was just Mercedes. It was very difficult for them to correct theirs.
Oh my gosh. But
Okay, we don't want to go back there. Okay, we can move back forward again. It's fine.
we'll go back to. I start to cry when all that happens. But like I said, Adrian, I don't know the dynamics of like what's going on, but I know for what I heard hearing is that Honda is just I don't know. Everybody's pointing fingers over there. I guess I'll say, but they had the
Mhm.
same amount of time to get all this corrected, and I mean it's the same thing with Williams. This is it's not good at
Well,
all.
Williams still has a lot of work that needs to be done. I mean, last year they came leaps and bounds. I really like that Carlos Sainz joined the team along with Alex Arbon, continuing to be on the team. I think they make the team better. How they are definitely in it to give as much information to the team to make sure that the cars perform as well as they can, and also their dedication just to the sport in general. They are
Hmm.
just two drivers that I admire a whole lot, especially Carlos Sainz. I mean, I feel like every team that he goes to, he's always like a shining star in a way. When he was at McLaren, he was great. When he even went on to he went to Renault for a time.
Yep.
Um and he also went to, where did he go after Renault? He went to, was it Renault, McLaren, and then he went Ferrari. He was with Ferrari with Chuck for a little while. And then,
For a long
now he's
time.
at, yeah, and now he's at Williams. So just wherever he goes, you just never hear anybody say anything bad about him. So,
I mean that's true, but at the and he can
and he
race too,
did
so we're
well.
not.
That's what I was about to say. He did
He
really
did
well at
well.
Ferrari.
He
Like
did. He did
he
well,
did. He held
especially
his
yeah.
own.
Um, but with this is it's a whole other beast with Williams, and I want Williams to do good,
Mhm.
but it's just I think it's so much. It's I think they're in the same boat of just finishing a race right now. I think they got to just finish the race. That's why I'm surprised at Cadillac.
The
I'm surprised
same boat
Cadillac.
as who? Because they're not the same boat as Aston Martin. Like Aston Martin, like really fell from grace.
No. Aston Martin is going to be terrible. They're not going to win. I don't see them finishing a race this year. All
Oh,
I'm saying,
what? You're making those sort of predictions after the first race of Monty? Are you serious? Okay.
they couldn't. They disqualified themselves from from qualifying. It was like no, we're not gonna. They had to get permission to race in this race. They
I
knew
get
that they
it,
wasn't
but
going. It's
but
not like
okay.
it's right there.
Yeah, I mean,
It's
I get it.
over.
But remember with Williams, like how much they struggled. Like sometimes they showed up to testing, they didn't even have all the parts of the car. Like, so we've seen this before. We've seen the
No,
struggle bus before.
I think Williams
Even
gonna.
even Mercedes, like, a couple years before Lewis left, they had all the parts, but they just
All right
weren't.
now.
Okay, we're not going to go back to that. But we have seen
Mm-hmm.
struggle in the paddock before, is what I'm
Not like
saying.
this.
Okay,
Not like this.
well,
Now what? Now I'm just saying. Now Williams, yes, that Williams. I mean, they'll finish races. So I'm not really worried about like Williams not finish races. They're not as bad as Aston Martin. I don't know. I just feel like they got a year. I don't know. I don't know when they're gonna get their stuff together. But you can't. It just you can't every you what they have can be solved in a week. I think China. They're not gonna finish in China. You still gotta get out there, do
I
your three
agree
laps, four
that.
laps, and then just get rid of the car. But other
Mhm.
than that, I mean, it's gonna be a long road for them. I think Adrian knew it. You knew it too because, like I said, there was rumors that Max wanted to go over there. I think Adrian Newey thought was like, we can't figure this car out. Stay over there.
Mm.
I think
Do
so.
you really think that he really wanted to jump ship like that? I don't
Listen,
know.
it's a lot. The rumor reports in F1. It's not the shade room, right? It's like they have.
He
If you hear a
said the shade
report
room. He
in
said
like
it's
Italy,
not Hollywood Unlocked. No,
no, it's like
Jason. No, Jason Lee
no.
reporting.
Mm-mm. If you hear somebody in like Italy, like a little small
I'm
town in
done.
Italy, like reporting, I mean that's how people when that article came out about Lewis and Ferrari, nobody took it serious because it was this little town outside of whatever that posted it this and this, and then all of a sudden, but that's how just Ferrari is. You'll send it to like these little bitty tiny papers in Europe, these little small countryside towns, and they'll post it something. Oh yeah, Aston Martin having trouble with the car, da da da. Nobody's not. You'll hear it. You'll see stuff on Facebook, da da da. But it's like, where's the source at? Oh, is this little, nobody paying attention to this. But if stuff be true, but I'm just saying, I'll be seeing that stuff. I'll be seeing that stuff. When I was like, why Max want to go to Aston Martin? It made no sense. What's going on here? He wants to leave Red Bull. What's going on here? You know what I'm saying? So, I mean, whenever there's smoke, there's fire. That's all I'm gonna say. All I'm gonna say.
Well, we know that there have been several teams courting Max, including Toto Wolff. And
Mm-hmm.
as much as people
That's your boy.
don't like Drive to Survive, I will always have Stockholm syndrome when it comes to Toto Wolff. You know that, Amani. Never
I
gonna
know.
change.
I know.
But
No matter
the
how he
drive,
treats Lewis.
he doesn't treat Lewis like anything. Lewis isn't a part of the team anymore. He's with the
I
Prancing
know. I said, hey,
Horses, and we need to be concerned about how the Prancing Horses are treating Lewis. But
I know.
um yeah,
They got
but
my
they
emails last
tell
year.
I think they got all of y'all's messages, Team LH messages. I wasn't one of them, but you guys
Oh,
kind of
we
went
was. Oh,
went
we listen. You already know the gang I'm affiliated with, and
Who
we
said
went.
gang?
We went
What
hard.
gang?
We went hard on Ferrari last year. It was that we was it's the same thing we did in Mercedes last year, Lewis. We back at it. We made headlines last year. Shout out to us. Yeah.
Hilarious.
Shout out to
Hilarious.
us. Yeah.
So
So
we'll give Drive to Survive a little burn, maybe like about 1 or 2 minutes for this show. Okay.
I haven't seen it yet.
So, all right. Well, I've watched some of it, and I really feel like it's not as good as like the first few seasons. I believe that, first of all, there's only 8 episodes. All the other ones were like 10 episodes. All right. And then like some of the storylines, they were trying to make them like believable to watch. I feel like the way that the season played out in real time was way better than what they portrayed on Drive to Survive, which recent years it's been the opposite. Especially like I learned so much more information about how Lewis felt about going to Ferrari and him leaving Mercedes in the Drive to Survive series. This this year I really feel like it just didn't give like any insider information that we already didn't know. Especially, I was expecting the Christian Horner episode to be way more juicy, like juicy. Like I wanted everything to be exposed, but they didn't. They did not. That was such a melancholy episode. I was just like, okay, did Christian Horner write this? Like was he in the room when they were chopping all of the
Shout,
footage up and we're like, look,
shout out to Horner.
I have family and I have to have a career somewhere. So can you please just make sure that it's just a nice, graceful exit out of Formula One? Because that's exactly what they did.
Shout out to Horner.
They did not throw that man underneath the bus like I thought they would.
No, why would they? No,
For ratings, they're television.
they're not finna do. They ain't finna.
I mean, I'm just saying. I'm just
They're
saying in
not
recent
finna.
years, you got all the juicy gossip, all of it. From Drive to Survive. Like I was going back, like telling you guys, I was like, well, in Drive to Survive, Lewis said this, and in Drive to Survive, Total Wolf said this. Even the conversation that Total Wolf and Susie Wolf had regarding Max Verstappen and the possibility of Fernando Alonso, which Susie Wolf was not having Fernando Alonso in Mercedes. Like she wasn't. You can go
No,
back
why
and
would?
watch the episode. Yeah, that was her
No,
face. The face that you made,
no.
that was her face when Toto was
Why would
talking
they?
about it.
Yeah,
And then, Toto, he spilled the beans. He was like, look,
that's your boy.
I promised Lewis that I would never approach Max as long as Lewis was a part of
Oh,
the
get the
team. But
fuck
now
out.
he's
He
not part of
did
the
it.
team anymore. You know, Max looks,
They had
you
meetings
know,
while he was part of the team
I know, but
in Italy.
Lewis was already making his exit, had told Toto that he was making his exit out of Mercedes.
So he should have been like, "Yeah, I want to meet with Max while he's on
Yeah,
the team. Like he's on the team."
Lewis had already told Toto. He already had
And you
told
can't
him.
tell me that he ain't talk. He ain't sent a text message to Max was like, "Hey, we're gonna sabotage Lewis this year. I think you need to go on, what I'm saying, jump ship."
No, he did not do that.
Yes, he is. He did.
You lucky my Botox is not working yet.
Listen, because you can't listen. First of all, that's the
That
whole
is a conspiracy theory if I ever
That's
heard
not a
one. Where did
conspiracy
you get that
theorist. What are you
from?
talking
Stop
about?
watching Bridgerton.
Listen, first of all, Bridgerton is amazing, but still, we're not talking about this. Is not a Bridgerton podcast because the whole thing happened when that's the whole thing was like he's trying to find. He's always wanted Max Verstappen. He's always wanted Max Verstappen. Period.
Be
So that's
that
why
as it
Kimmy
may,
was so important.
He had Lewis.
That's why he looked at
Okay.
Kimmy like at Max.
All right. Well, that still remains to be seen.
That's your boy. He's all
Who?
this. What are you talking about?
Who's my boy?
Toto.
Oh, I
Toto
thought you meant
all wolf.
Kimmy.
Toto all wolf. Yeah. Toto all wolf. That's what
He
his name is.
still
Toto
is. Yes,
all
he is.
wolf.
Don't care what you say about him, Amani. He's never coming off my Instagram page ever.
I know he's not.
Ever.
It'll be all right.
All
Don't
right.
say don't worry about it.
So
We take care of that.
moving on.
Shout out to the 44 gang out there.
Gang, gang.
Gang
All
gang.
right. So moving on. Cadillac, Audi, Aston Martin didn't finish. Pierre Gasly was kerfuffling with Esteban Ocon again, even though they don't even race for the same team. I swear,
Exactly.
man, their beef is like the 30-year-old beef. They've been beefing since they were 10 years old. Isn't that crazy? And that, you know what? Sidebar. That's another beef that I found out how deep the beef really was from Drive to Survive. See, I'm trying to tell you, Drive to Survive fell off.
I
We learned
think
about all that stuff.
sometimes I think Pierre it's probably egging all that in there.
On, who starts the most stuff on that grid is
I don't see
Esteban
it.
Ocon. He's always been that way.
I think he drives me. He just drives. He'll bother nobody.
He bothers nobody, he bothers
I don't see.
everybody. He has been the driver that has gotten into the most scuffs with people in this era, and you
Get
know
out
it.
the
He's the
way.
common denominator. He's a common denominator. I mean, must I go through all the drivers? Max, him and Max got into a shoving match and while they were getting weighed. Him and Checo, forgot about that, huh? Forgot about that, huh? When
That was
when they were in the
AI.
when they were driving for the Pink Panthers. Yeah,
It
you
was
forgot about
AI.
that, didn't you?
It was AI.
What team? Racing Point? Yeah.
Shout out to Haas.
Esteban Ocon and Pierre Gasly, you know?
Shout out
Like
to Haas.
the only other beef that I can even remember that was like really that bad. I mean, okay, yeah, Lewis and Nico. All right. And then
That was
who
bad.
else? Who else? Kevin Magnussen and Nico Hulkenberg. But no, who has had the beef with the most people in Formula One? Esteban Ocon. Try to correct me because I'm so wrong. I
I'm
mean,
glad.
that was some Ayrton Senna Alain Pro stuff that Esteban
I want to know
does.
how. I want to know how. Shout out to shout out to my boy Travis. He was watching. He actually saw. Like, we were talking about Senna, and he actually saw the race. I never seen the race. I never seen it live. He actually saw it live. I said, wow. I just never. I never. Because I mean, I was only what 6 years old when that happened, so I wasn't
Oh,
like
and Senna
watching it.
died.
Yeah, I never
Yeah.
watched it like live, and he watched it. And I was like, God damn, you're old as hell. I didn't watch it. I never seen it. I never seen
You
it before.
see,
I never
oh, but
seen it
you see
live.
my face. Oh, no, you did just say he's old as hell. Okay,
He
so
was old.
when
I wait.
Senna died, I was 12.
I think he was older than that. I think he was in high
No, wait,
school.
was I 12? I was 12, almost 13 when Senna died.
Yeah, he was. He was in high school when Senna died. So yeah, he lived a rough
I'm
life.
sitting here trying to think. He died in
Happened in
94. Okay.
'94. Yeah, yeah, happened in '94.
The crazy thing is I really think that I was living in Italy when Senna died.
Really?
Yeah. Okay, I know that this is off topic, but when did Selena die? When did the singer Selena die? Like Google that. She
That's a good
died in like
trivia question.
94, 95.
I think her. I think her. Ain't her killer getting out of jail soon?
Nobody wants to talk about. She is the woman who shall not be named ever.
Mm-mm.
I think when did she die? She died in 94, she died in 95.
95, March 31st.
Okay. So I was living in Italy when Senna died then. Yes, I was living in Sicily when Senna died because I was there in 94. And that Senna died a month before my sister was born. My sister was born June 10th, 1994. So,
What was the temperature like then? Did you notice? Was there anything like?
well, I was in Sicily. Sicily is not
Well, yeah.
it's a different climate than Italy.
I mean,
You
that's
know,
true.
the mainland and then you have Sicily. They're very, very different. But, either way, I was still in Italy when it happened.
But is it? But even then, I'm thinking still.
I really think that there was some acknowledgement, of course. I mean, you know, because it was Italy, but I mean, I really don't remember.
Because I saw Earnhardt. I saw that race live.
Yeah,
And I,
that was
and I
really bad. I remember
yeah,
that.
yeah, and it took. I mean, even watching nobody was like, what's going on here. So
Well,
it
we didn't think he died. Remember, like it took some convincing to actually say that that man died because he had
I was
been
like,
in
what?
so many wrecks and he's always walked away from them.
Yeah, and this one was like not even. It didn't look as bad.
Mm-mm. No, I
So
agree.
so shout out to Earnhardt, man.
Yeah.
Praise
May he
yeah,
rest in peace.
praise Dale, raise hell.
He's the reason why we have the Hans device.
Yes.
Dale
Mhm.
Earnhardt.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Yes. And,
Just
Senna, there has not been a Formula One driver to lose his life while being in a Formula One car since Senna. I think. Formula One. Formula One, because we did
Yeah, that's true.
lose what's his name? Anton Hubert, which was
Yeah,
like Pierre Gasly's best friend, but that was not in a Formula One car.
that was two.
Hmm.
Yeah, that was two. But
Yeah.
no, you're right. Nobody in a Formula One car. No, no,
While driving a Formula One car has lost their life since then.
no. It has been caught on fire plenty of times and has the one of the best
I
moments
mean,
in Formula
Romain
One history.
Grosjean, the Phoenix, a true act of God, because we all thought he was a goner, but he wasn't. And then, like, okay, so one thing that I did do and that I
Mm-hmm.
always like to do when I'm not watching Formula One, especially during the off season, is go back and watch like older movies regarding Formula One. Like, I think that I have watched every movie regarding Juan Fangio that I possibly could find. But there was this one F1 documentary. Oh my gosh, and Lewis looked so young in it. Like his gap looked even bigger, but I'm not even gonna say, I'm not gonna talk about that.
Jeez.
Um, but they were talking about all of the Formula One drivers that died, all the way up basically to Senna, and how like Nicky Lauda, they showed Nicky Lauda's accident, but they were just saying like how they constantly had to protest for better racing conditions. So I just want to say huge shout out to all of the drivers that lost their lives in the name of one doing something that they love, but then also bringing innovation and technology to make even our cars safer. Um, and there were like a lot of interviews like with the surviving wives of these drivers that died. I also found out that that's the reason why so apparently the most deadliest lap back then was always the first lap of the race. So that's the reason why the safety car follows after all of the cars, even now in Formula One, because that's where a lot of the drivers died, was during the first lap of the race.
I mean, I can see that. I didn't know the
Hmm.
safety car because of that.
Yeah. And
That's
then also too,
interesting.
that's also the reason why they have like they mandated that a lot of the barriers be changed. They mandated that every single racetrack have a medical facility, doctor,
Hmm.
helicopters to be able to fly the drivers out if they're injured. Like a lot of that stuff was championed because of drivers like Senna, and also like Nikki Lauda,
Right.
Martin Brundle, like all of them were like, look, how many more of us have to die doing something that we love? So yeah, huge shout out to them.
What do you think about it on Apple TV?
What is with the ads? I didn't
I
like
mean, they paid a
that.
lot of money for it.
No, I don't care. So I have to listen. Did we have ads before? When we
Yeah, but they didn't pay
watched
that
it
much
on
money for it.
F1 TV. Did we have ads? I don't remember seeing all those ads.
I don't know. I never used F1 TV.
Okay, well I did, and I don't remember seeing all those ads. You were
I never.
there, you were locked in, you had to constantly rewind if you had to get up and move around and miss a part of the race. But this Apple TV stuff, I saw some ads. I'm like, what's this?
I mean, it wasn't. I mean, yes, because I mean they paid like some $1 million for it. I think it's like
Hmm.
180 million, which is crazy. And ESPN wasn't gonna do that. I always watched it on ESPN, right? I always did that because I remember back in the day when the F1 app started to come about, it was so high for it to watch the races. I was like, I'm not paying this. I'm not paying $100 or whatever it was to do
And
this.
I get it.
Yeah, so I just watched on ESPN. You know what I'm saying? It's always been on for me. It's always been on ESPN. Now, yes, there was ads, yes, but listen, I mean, I didn't notice them. I ain't gonna lie. I mean, it was like I didn't really notice them for real. I was like, okay,
Whatever you say, Amani. Okay.
because it wasn't like
So you just, I don't know, just overlooked the Continental commercial. Okay.
what I mean. I guess as in like I didn't notice them. It was like okay, it was they put them in good spots. I guess I put it like that because it wasn't like interfering with any. Like they was done like they be done with like the qualifying, and they're
Who
throwing an
cares?
ad.
I still look,
The commentary is horrible though. I know that. I know the commentary is
Still
definitely
want to
horrible.
see like the people running around the track. I the crowd, see all that. I want
They
them to
showed
like,
that.
look at the woman's shoes in the purse. Like, yeah, I want to see all of that. No, they're doing the State Farm commercial
Now I didn't.
with the guy who
I
looks
didn't.
like Drake.
I don't like the. Oh yeah. Jack. Jake. Yeah. Jake for State. Yes. Jake. Jake for State Farm. Um. I don't like. I don't like the. I don't like the new commentary on there. They. I don't think they did. Did they do a track run? I don't think they did a track run like they usually do. I don't. I don't think I've seen that.
Look, there are a lot of things that have changed. Okay, the cars have changed. The network has changed.
I know.
We've added two teams to Formula One.
And
You know
Naomi's not
it.
on there either. So
Yes, and she's
I
at home
know.
being a mom. But I think that she's doing a podcast. She's doing a podcast and she's doing another show. But I think that it might be like a UK based show. I don't know. But we do
I
miss
know.
you,
Nobody sounds like it
Naomi.
does.
We really do, and so happy for
Yes.
you and your family
Yes.
and the new baby. But moving on to where is round two going to be taking
China.
place? China.
Mm-hmm.
So all the drivers have hightailed it out of Australia, and now
Yes.
majority of them are in China, with the exception of Lewis. We don't know where he is, and we're not getting into where he could be because nobody cares. Um,
As long as you get rid of Kim,
look,
jeez, we
look,
don't need
look.
that.
No, I was gonna say or who he's with. Hint,
Mm-mm.
hint.
Mm-mm.
So
We don't need him
yeah,
on episode. We don't need him on
predictions and
season 30. No, we don't need that.
we were not gonna be able to talk about this without talking about that. Okay, so China, everybody's in China.
Yeah.
Round two. It comes on
Mm-hmm.
at what time on Eastern Standard Time? 4:30 in the morning is what I
No,
was.
no. It's
What time does it come
well,
on?
no, for us it's like 2 a.m.
2 a.m. I'm sorry, I'm off by two
and I'm on
hours.
I'm on Central.
Does that include daylight savings time? Because we just have that.
Let me just make sure. Yeah, 2
Okay.
a.m.
All right. So it comes on 2 a.m. Eastern Standard
Mhm.
Time. So predictions. Do we think that Aston Martin's gonna finish this race? Is that a yes
No,
or a no?
no,
Do we think that Cadillac is going to place in the top 10? Is that a yes or no?
no, no,
Do we think that Lando Norris is going to be on podium?
no,
Do we think that Ijik Hadjar is going to beat out Max Verstappen?
no.
All right, so I need some yeses, Amani. What do you think is going to be a yes?
So I think it's basically I think you haven't gave me a yes yet. He haven't gave me a yes.
I'm just asking you. All the questions that I asked were dead no.
Okay, so
So
George, I think George finished. I mean, I think Mercedes does 1 and 2.
on the ones and
Ferrari,
twos again.
yeah, Ferrari. You know what? Let me do this. George, George still because it's just crazy. So I think it's going to be like a. I think here we go. I think Ferrari gets second and third.
Okay. Okay.
Hmm.
I like that. I like
Yeah.
that. So what do you think it's going to be a George with then a Lewis and Chuck in the mix?
Yes, because we're gonna have virtual safety cars. It seems to be the same thing. We're gonna have virtual safety cars.
Let me ask this though. Let me just back up here and ask this. I forget, you know. Um been watching for a long time, but I what type um what type of track is China? I forget.
I don't know. It's been man, golly, it's been what
Because it's been a little
four
while since they've
years?
gone, right? Yeah, that's what
Yeah,
I'm
it's been
thinking.
a, it's
I'm
been a
like,
while.
is it heavy downforce? Is it like,
I don't know.
you know,
I don't know. It's
because
it's so crazy.
because the way that the way that
But
somebody explained it to me, no, but the way that somebody explained it to me was that Mercedes and Ferrari, they have the same like cornering speed, but it is the straights where Mercedes takes off and Ferrari hasn't had a chance to master that type of speed yet going down the straight. I heard.
Did somebody tell you that off of the first race?
Yeah, and I believe what he says. He's a bit of an expert.
Well, I mean, we'll see off the first. I mean, that's pretty bold to
I
say
know,
off
isn't
like
that like
with
analysis? Yeah,
brand
but
new a brand new car. Like,
hey, that was what was told to me. I just I'm a little bit of the griot here.
I mean
I'm
that.
just telling me what people tell me. I
I
tell the
mean,
story.
I don't. I know one thing. I know, especially with Ferrari, they're especially at the beginning of the race when they're starting up and they take off. That right there is incredible. The start off speed is incredible right there.
I
But
mean, but George Russell was like, he was a rocket the whole man. He was on
George
a
said,
kraken of a lap,
and
a
George said that
banger
he
of a
didn't,
lap when he was doing qualifying. I was like, holy cow. I was
and
like,
they
is
didn't
that
have no
Lewis?
battery.
Is that Lewis like 3 years ago? Like, is that
And they
Lewis
didn't have
wearing
no
helmet?
battery.
Oh, I'm
It's
sorry. It's the
crazy.
blue helmet. That's George.
So, but yeah,
He looked
also like I
like
said,
Lewis.
they didn't have no battery either. That's what George said. They didn't start off with no battery. They had 0% on battery. I said that. So I don't know. We'll see. You can't. I don't know. Like, we'll everything's gonna make sense by Miami. I've always. I feel like the season always starts with Miami because
Mhm.
you kind of figure out where the teams are at. I don't know what I don't know what none of this is at. I still don't. I mean, like I said, I just know what I seen with Mercedes and when Q3 happened, and it was all. I mean, when they get going, they get going, and I think Ferrari knows that. Ferrari has the best chance to beat them, so I don't see nobody else. And like I said, we don't know what Max gonna do either, because Max started for like I said, he started from 20 to 6, but I don't think he can go beyond that. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Piastri's not in there too, so I mean, I don't know. I'm very curious though, but we'll see. We'll see what China holds up. Because I don't
Right.
know. I forgot how China was, so
Yeah, me too. That's what I'm saying. I'm like, I can't remember what
I
type of
can't remember
track it
either.
was.
No.
But anyway, that's the reason why this weekend, that's what we're going to be watching. So, yeah, I mean, you know what, Amani? Thank you for coming and hang out with me
Mm-hmm.
after a year of being
Always.
away. I mean, I just really felt
Always.
like that hiatus really needed to happen. I really needed that to recoup as a
Mm-hmm.
Lewis Hamilton fan because it was a little rough for us. But I'm
We
glad
all
to see
needed
that
that.
he's in good form. I'm glad to see that Ferrari is progressing in the new regulation changes, and I hope it only continues.
Yes.
They can get this man his eighth championship.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And like I said, any other announcements? Or we follow the podcast?
Yes. So if you haven't already, please follow Monday Night Vibes. We are on
Mm-hmm.
Spotify.
Mm-hmm.
We are
We're on
on
Spotify.
Apple. Yep,
Yes.
Apple Podcast.
We have a podcast
And
too.
yeah, we're also on IG. So if you
Yes.
don't follow us, please follow us. That would be greatly appreciated. And like and subscribe and send this show to your friends
Mm-hmm.
because
We got big
we're
things this
just
year.
it's yeah, we got some big things going on this year and we're back. That's the main thing. We're back.
We're back. So
Yeah. So
yeah, follow us.
Amani, that song that had the bop to it. Come on, you gotta play that song. That's my jam now. I think that's gonna be the theme song. I don't know.
I'm playing. I gotta find it. I'm gonna. Y'all
You
gonna be
gonna cue it
surprised on
up.
that. We'll
Okay.
be surprised
You
on
gotta
that.
cue it up.
But until
But
then, go ahead.
yeah. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, everybody. And thank you so much for joining me, Tanya, and Amani on Monday Night Vibes F1
Yeah,
podcast.
we out of here.
Peace.
Hey.
Yeah. 5 red lights, I lean forward. DRS open, who really flooded? Check the times, I record it. Pit stop slow, we report it.